Hello and welcome to another video from Sustenance and Cover, the only YouTube channel you need to not only survive the current apocalypse but actually enjoy it. And today we're doing some chores, mulching, and basically the way all my videos are is somebody will either ask me a question and I'll make a video, or I'll be doing something in the yard and just think, you know what, I don't know anybody else that does this. Maybe I need to share this with people. And I do know people that mulch, but I don't know of anybody that does it the way I do. My neighbor's actually asked me to go with him to pick up mulch before. He buys that cypress mulch, about $3 a bag. And I read a thing on the internet a while back about how all the cypress forests in Louisiana are being destroyed just to harvest the cypress mulch.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just insidious. I can't believe that. Well, yeah, I can. We got a government that doesn't mind dropping bombs on people. I'm sure it's not a big deal for them to allow them to gut the cypress forest. But in any case, the way I do it is if I'm driving down the road and I see one of them trucks clearing the trees out of power lines, I just get out and ask the guy if he wants to dump his leftovers after he gets finished grinding them in my yard. And they almost always say, yeah, well, where you live, because if they don't come over here and dump them, they got to go back to their dump site, which could be 10 miles away, and dump them. And this is just, well, you'll get anything. You don't know what you're going to get. Could be pine, could be oak. And right after Christmas, we usually find somebody that's got about 1.5 tons of Christmas trees all mulched up. And you can smell those for a week up in the house. But in any case, what you're going to need is one of these. My wife says it's a pitchfork. I'm thinking it's probably more like called a transfer fork or something like that. But I know this is probably 50 years old, if not 100 years old. I think it was my pawpaw's. It's been hanging on Mama's wall. Well, it hung on her wall for 30 years. It's been hanging over here for 20. But in any case, the only thing I found that works, and if you get a load of this, it's very important you get to it before it rains.
Why?
Because, well, it gets heavy. And even if it don't rain, I mean, just from settling, it'll get heavy. But when it's first dumped, it's very loose, very light, and I got a bad back, and yet I have no problem with this. You can see it's starting to smoke. This stuff's composting sitting here, so to put off steam. But come on over here and I'll show you what I do with this. Well, you can see some of these trees around here has already been mulched. Brutus over here. Brutus is the only chicken I got out right now.
Why?
Well, I had trouble with the hens getting all tore up, so I'm keeping them locked up for about another 2 weeks till they get healed. But if you're wondering why I'm not wearing a gun, it's because the chickens are inside except for Brutus, and I'm not worried about him. If a hawk grabs hold of Brutus, that's a hawk that's about to get grabbed hold of. And if he takes Brutus, I'm happy. That rooster tears me up every time I come out here. But anyways, this here will keep weeds down a little bit. You won't have to be getting up in it with a weed eater. Now this is being composted anaerobically, not aerobically. Anaerobically. Aerobically is when it's being turned and it's getting air in it, and that will make stuff compost really quick. Once it finishes it, then you could use it as dirt. But until it's completely composted, it has to go above the ground. If you try to put that in a planter and then put plants in it, kill it, because it's taking nitrogen out of the soil. As it composts, it will put nitrogen in the soil, but while it's composting, it's actually removing nitrogen from the soil, so it'll kill whatever you plant in it. Now, if you've noticed in any of my other videos, piles similar to that one, we've had maybe, I don't know, a dozen piles like that up in this front yard just in the last
year or so.
And we moved all of them now. I've had friends come up here when I wasn't around and level it all out with tractors, which is nice. But sometimes when I want to mulch, then I do it all by hand. And in fact, you can come see this over here. I wasn't gonna walk over here. Well, even, look here, turn the camera over that way. That area right in there where it's kind of not too much grass, it's kind of brown. That's where we had a couple of piles and moved them out. And over here is a couple that we moved into the soil. And I'll show you what that looks like close up.
Are you cooking something today? I knew she had a fire.
I was thinking about it, maybe bake a loaf of bread. I don't know.
Oh.
But anyways, come down here and look at this real close up. That is black dirt. It's still not really ready to plant anything, but in a year or two, we'll be able to make a really nice garden here without putting any amendments in the soil probably. Might be a weed garden, but we may find something that really likes this. Can't think of what else to add. But anyhow, if you're trying to be a survivalist or a prepper or just live a sustainable life, it is pointless to take hard-earned money down to Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever and buy wood chips that you can get for free off of a wood mulching truck. And not only that, but you're destroying the forest while you're doing it. And if you don't want to survive, don't listen to me.
Bye.